DJ Moore, one of my favorite players just overall in the NFL, but I love drafting him in Dynasty. I mean, this is a guy who just always commands the football. I mean, he's averaging about 130, around 130 targets every single season. He's about to be 28 years old, 60th overall off the board right now. And, he was going at the 512 in startups. Now he's going at the 501. So almost entire full round jump. You're talking about 11 spots. And I mean, I don't know if there's been any particular news about DJ Moore lately. Maybe it's the idea that maybe people are confident that Keenan Allen's not coming back. I don't know. I haven't seen anything specific. Maybe it's the idea that they think Genty is likely not going there. And maybe they think Genty's going to the Raiders. And so because of that, and maybe people were baking Genty in to score and get some volume there. I'm not sure, but it's a pretty significant jump when you're talking about 11 spots is pretty much almost a full round. So curious your thoughts on DJ Moore. If you want to shed light to me as to why you think the movement's there and what do you think about that price? And are you buying DJ Moore at this current cost?
Yeah, it's interesting because I'm like you. I don't know what the move would be for DJ Moore unless you're just buying into the offense of seeing Ben Johnson, and he made some comments at the media day with all the coaches, and certainly there's a lot to like with Ben Johnson pairing with Caleb Williams and seeing this offense grow because they should take steps forward. And added with that, they completely revamped that offensive line. The interior of that offensive line is significantly better. And I know that's not necessarily the sexiest thing to talk about when we're talking about wide receivers, but it absolutely matters. It matters so much. Caleb was running for his life. DJ Moore, when he gets the opportunity, you already mentioned it. He gets a ton of targets each year, and that's always happened for him every single year of his career. But what we know is when he plays, he averages 14 points per game in full PPR. That's fantastic, especially where you're getting him right now at 60th overall, wide receiver 20 overall. You look at some of the names around there. Would you rather have DJ Moore or Jordan Addison? We're talking about the guy who's probably the wide receiver 1 for his team versus the guy who's the wide receiver 2 for his team on basically a rookie quarterback. Terry McLaurin's in that range, Chris Olave, Zay Flowers. So there's a lot of names that I think I would lean DJ Moore in situations where my team is competing. Now, certainly you can make the case of if you're rebuilding or you're trying to revamp your team, it's all situational, but what we know is DJ Moore is a good player, and he's going to have the opportunity to really prove it this year with finally having everything in Chicago that they want. There's no more excuses. This is time for Caleb Williams to show if he can do it or not. And, I think that there's a lot of positivity in Chicago, and I think it's rightfully placed.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, DJ Moore, the constant lack of creativity, in the offenses that he's been in. Now you insert Ben Johnson, who, we've seen him get the most out of his players, right? And so I'm excited to see it for DJ Moore. This is a guy that no matter where he's been, no matter what offensive situation, I mean, like we talked about, here his targets, 140 last year, and that's splitting between Keenan Allen and Rome Odunze, right? And he was still able to command 140, 136 targets, 118, 162, 118, 135, and then 82 as a rookie. This is also a guy that's been consistently healthy. 4 years straight, he's played 17 football games. He finds a way to be healthy. And this isn't a guy, we talked about touchdowns before. He's not a guy that scores a ton of touchdowns, right? 6 last year, 8 the year before, 7, and then 4, 4, 4, and 2, right? But we always see DJ Moore. He's very similar to the Joe Mixon of wide receivers in that a lot of big spike games, right? And then sometimes you're kind of frustrated with him where he gets a 10-point game because, he's just getting a lot of volume, but he's not really creating a ton, right? And so I feel like DJ Moore at this current cost, look, I don't know the love affair with Jordan Addison for some players. You're likely getting the number 2 wide receiver unless he goes elsewhere, which he's young. He's not, unless he's getting traded, he's not moving. And Justin Jefferson's not going anywhere either. So
he's the one.
Right. He is the one. And so I'm kind of, I don't really understand why you would consider that. People can maybe argue Zay Flowers, right? I can see an argument there from a talent standpoint, but again, Zay Flowers is similar to the DJ Moore role of last year. A lot of bubble screens, not a lot of creativity. Well, creativity in terms of trying to manufacture touches for him, but the offense in general lacks creativity. In the passing game, right, in Baltimore. So I prefer DJ Moore. I think it's going to be a very nice season. And you made a good point. The upgrades to the offensive line too, on top of bringing in Ben Johnson. I don't know how you can't be excited for a guy who has consistently been consistent in fantasy football with bad situations. This is probably going to be the best situation he's ever had. Now he's got the quarterback 2 years in a row, and now he's getting his best probably play caller he's ever had. Is that fair to say?
Yeah, I completely agree. Saying it's the best situation of his career is absolutely positively totally correct. I mean, you can't deny it. I mean, the offensive line revamped, wide receiver core solid, got a decent tight end, best quarterback he's probably ever had in his career, best coach he's probably ever had in his career. It's like I said, there's a lot of positivity in Chicago, and it's rightfully placed. But this is the year for them to put it all together.